I'm so excited in this video to talk about the top 10 remote jobs that therapists and assistants can do. I've been really stringent in this video to follow several criteria to make sure that you have full confidence in all the jobs that I'm listing today. One, I've made sure that every job I'm going to mention has a following job post. That way you know I'm not just making up good old anything. Two, I've made sure that these jobs have similar salary to the salary you're currently making. Three, all these jobs can be as either a PT, OT, speech therapist, or subsequently physical therapist assistant or occupational therapist assistant. So for all of you rehab professionals out there listening, all of these jobs I'm going to mention you can do. Three, they are in some way remote. Some of them will be fully remote. Some of them will be hybrid, meaning a combination of remote half the time and in-person the other half. And then four, I've really made sure that all the jobs I'm going to mention have little to no extra education needed. I do not want to have you go back to school to be a physician's assistant or a nurse or anything like that. No way. I have way too many student loans to tell you to get even more student loans. I hope that with these videos, you can see that there are so many opportunities that you don't need to feel burnt out. You don't need to feel like you have to go back to school and get another 50 to 100K in depth. That I hope I can give you the confidence that you have transferable skills. Okay, with that being said, my name is Dr. Emma Shapiro and I'm a physical therapist, a rehab professional just like you, and I'm excited to share with you the top 10 remote jobs list. So the first job I'm going to talk about is ergonomics. Now we have a full video all about the pros and cons of each of the jobs we're going to talk about today. So for ergonomics, you'll see it up here. But to give you a brief reason why I've mentioned this as a top remote opportunity for you as a therapist or assistant is the following. One, it pays similar to your clinical salary. Two, no insurance. Well, sometimes there's a little workers' comp, but that depends on the role you have. But no insurance, you're focusing on prevention. Three is that I really love the fact that this can be full-time employment, it can be independent contracting, or you can do this as your own side hustle and business. So there's a variety of financial avenues and job avenues for you. And I really want to give you opportunities that can allow you that flexibility. It is a really amazing job opportunity for you, and we're going to dive into the job post here so you can see that yes, this truly exists, and here are the qualifications. Okay, in this job post here, you can see this is a job post by Briotics, and if you scroll down, you'll see that this one is part-time. So there really is a variety of different roles out there, full-time, part-time, contract. You can see that as you scroll down to what's required, you can see that there's athletic training, kinesiology, exercise, physiology, physical therapy, occupational therapy, even right here, PT assistant or OT assistant. So you can see that there are a variety of ergonomic jobs out there for you. Now for job opportunity number two, and that is sales. So there are so many things you could be working full-time or contract or as a business in selling. You could be selling wheelchairs, cushions, ramps, other home modification goods, walking assistant devices or different walking devices such as the light gate, various things to help with mobility. And although, yes, I know everyone is like, no to sales, really how I think about it is today I mentioned the foam roller and a massage gun like 5 times. It didn't feel salesy because I was mentioning things that I knew would truly help my patient. So I think if you go into sales really trying to pick a job that you feel passionate about. So if you love wheelchairs, sell wheelchairs. If you love home modification, pick a job selling home modification goods. The reason why I put this on the list is that it usually is a remote job. It can sometimes be a hybrid or it can be in person. The other reason why I put this on the list is the income potential. Some jobs have an income cap. We know that from our clinical jobs. But when it comes to sales, usually the salary reimbursement ladder is tiered so that the more sales you make, the more you earn. And so you don't have a limit to your earning potential anymore. Unlike in clinical, where you worked super hard and no one gave you anything more, the harder you work in sales, usually the more you earn. And the other reason why I like this is because there's no extra education needed, and I feel like it very much fits into our wheelhouse. It's skills we know, it's equipment we know, and it should feel pretty seamless, that transition. Okay, so for our job posting, you can see right here. So in this job posting, we're showing you a sales position. Now there's really a wide array of sales positions that you could go into. So this is just one of many examples. But you can see here that in a sales position, the qualifications is very minimal. It's usually just a bachelor's degree, and then they recommend some sales, but that's really not required at all. And they usually recommend, if you're going into medical sales, to have some sort of medical experience, which luckily for everyone listening, we have plenty of that. And so you can see the qualifications are very minimal, and you can see the salary really varies, and that's because it's often commission-based. Awesome. Keep hanging with me. We have so many amazing job opportunities to cover today. So the next job opportunity, I'm going to bundle it into actually 4 or 3 different job opportunities. And they are utilization review / management opportunities. It is skilled inpatient care coordinator. Also, you can look at the similar job, and it's called home health patient care coordinator. And then you have patient coordinator or service coordinator. All these different job titles all fit into sort of this similar group or category of jobs that are extremely alternative, or I hate to say the word non-clinical, but non-clinical, meaning that there's not really any patient involvement or patient treating going on. In these 4 jobs I've listed, you're more helping the patient throughout the process of their care, or you're reviewing documentation for appropriateness and those similar roles. Now, we do have an in-depth video on how you can secure a job as a utilization reviewer or skilled inpatient care coordinator right here. We also do have a course to help you get that position, and that will be in the description below. We also do have an ergonomics certification course I forgot to mention as well, and that's in the description below. But the reason why I really love the jobs that I just listed is because if you are tired of working with patients, you don't want to deal with patients anymore, then this job category is perfect for you because it takes the patients pretty much out of the picture. You're more looking at documentation, looking at appropriateness. And so if you want a full-time job that pays the similar to your clinical salary without any extra education, and that is remote, plus doesn't have to deal with all that insurance mess and patient mess, then utilization review and that bundle of job opportunities is perfect for you. And we're going to dive into this job opportunity to show you that yes, this really does exist. Okay, in this job posting, we are looking at utilization review. Now that title can fall under many things in Indeed: therapist reviewer, utilization management. So it really falls under many different topics. But as you scroll down, you can see this is Anthem, and you can see they want physical therapy, a degree in physical therapy, occupational therapy, or speech therapy, or 4 years of clinical experience. So if you're listening, you can qualify for this job posting. Okay, so the next job opportunity is telehealth services, and that includes virtual reality. I haven't heard very many people talk about virtual reality at all, and I'm really excited to try and to be pushing this for you because I have been seeing so many job posts on virtual reality as well. And so in addition to doing telehealth for PT or OT, for health coaching and for wellness, you also can now add telehealth virtual reality to that list of virtual jobs. Now, this list is once again pretty wide, like the one we just covered, where I'm sort of lumping wellness, health coaching, and telehealth services together. I love this idea because right in your wheelhouse, you as clinicians know how to do these. It can be contract, it can be part-time, it can be full-time, and it can also be your own business. I love that trio because I just think it gives you the most flexibility in your life. And then lastly, this is something that has room for you to grow. You could become a team lead. You could, grow and help be sort of the supervisor for telehealth services and for virtual reality services for wellness. And so I just have to mention telehealth services, including health coaching, wellness, and virtual reality. And so in this job post, I'm going to show you the virtual reality post just because I think it's so neat and so few people have talked about it. Okay, so this is the virtual reality job posting. So you can see this is with XR Health. They are a major employer for virtual reality positions, and it is remote. And as you scroll down, you can see this is actually for a part-time job, but they do sometimes have full-time, and they will have this job be opportunity for you to move into a full-time role. And as you scroll down, this is for a physical therapist, but they also may have other positions for speech therapists and occupational therapists too. Okay, another amazing job opportunity and idea for you is a recruiter. Now, you can be a healthcare recruiter. You could be a recruiter for something totally different, such as software engineer recruiting or physician recruiting. But what a recruiter is someone who finds someone a job. Now, that also can be a permanent job, a contract position, or a travel position. And in healthcare recruiting, I really love this role because similar to sales, it is no salary cap. Oftentimes you're paid on a base commission and then base salary and then more commission, the more leads or people you get to travel or in your full contracts or other things. And so I love recruiting because it's remote. It's a great income ladder for you. Doesn't need any extra education. And I was actually a travel physical therapist myself. And as a traveler, I also did travel mentorship. And I really enjoyed mentoring other therapists and helping them find jobs. As you can tell, I like helping people find jobs. But I loved helping people find jobs. And I truly felt like traveling changed my life. And so getting people into similar roles where their earning potential is amazing and they could pay off their loans or buy a house, it was really inspiring. And as you can tell, I really am pumped up about the idea. And I think if you like mentoring therapists and therapist assistants, then I think recruiting could be really fun and interesting job opportunity for you. And so here is a job post. And you can see there's actually a variety of companies that you can look for traveling, but this is just one post opportunity we're going to cover. Okay, so here we are with a therapist recruiter position. Now there are tons and tons of travel companies out there and recruiting companies out there. So this is just one example. So you can see here the pay rate is between 50 and 64. I can tell you that I personally know recruiters who made $100,000. So it really just varies on the type of job and the type of recruiter you are. And you can see this is full-time, contract, or part-time. And going down, they just require a bachelor's. Recruiting, you can say this is just like as if they wanted us to have experience when we were new grads. It's required, but it's not really required. The next remote job opportunity and idea is medical coding/billing. Now I'm going to go over in the job post what criteria you need for this because you'll find some billing and coding opportunities that do not need any extra education and that's great, apply to those. But for the most part, I've seen that this remote job does require you to have 1 or 2 certifications that do run about $300 to $500. So not a large investment to start a whole new remote career, and this career pays pretty well. I saw usually around $30 an hour. It is 100% remote, and it's similar to utilization review and skilled inpatient care coordinator, where there's really not a lot of, if any, patient interaction. So if you're looking to remove yourself 100% from the patient interaction, the insurance mumbo jumbo, then medical coding and billing may be a great remote option for you. And there's actually a lot of jobs out there. So here's just one example. So this is an example of a medical coding and billing position. You can see it's remote. This is through Biata. And you can see going down here, you can see the salary. It's full-time remote. You can see there's several bonuses. But right here is the most important thing to point out, that they don't necessarily need these, but most jobs do require this. You can see that it's the COSC, HCSO, OASIS certification, and HCSD certification. And many jobs may or may not require this, but I think if you want to really be a good candidate and also just to have the knowledge to do this job, it's important to look into these certifications. But you can see here, they're hiring RN, LPN, PT, OT, and speech therapists. And assistants would be included in this as well. I want you to remember that even though they don't always outright say assistants, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't apply, especially if you have these certifications. So I would still apply to these type of positions. Okay, we're narrowing it down to 2 last job opportunities for you. And so the final 2 is health consulting, and I'm gonna lump it again into basically digital skills and marketing skills that you can do in any healthcare position that's like for a software company. And I'm doing a really bad job of explaining this, but there's so many roles you can do. So consulting is where you can go into different jobs such as hospitals and different facilities. You can also look at different companies like EMR companies, Cerner, Epic, etc., and try to consult with them. Try to figure out how to grow their sales, how to connect more with their audience, how to adjust to this and this. And during COVID, there was a lot of consulting for medical staff to help facilities know how do they transition. What policies should they create? So consulting is a really unique role that is really wide and varied in where you can apply and what you can do. But I think it's something that definitely you should be considering because you have a lot to offer for these facilities. And that brings me to our last job option, which is I'm gonna lump it into digital services and skills for companies. Now, I'm not talking about side hustling or entrepreneurism. If you want me to make a whole video on that, I have an amazing list, and I'm an entrepreneur myself in addition to working full time, and I'd be happy to help show you all the different side hustles you can do. But beyond side hustles, there's really so many opportunities that you have to work full-time or part-time or as a contract base within companies. And it's going to be hard for me to verbalize all you can do because there's such a wide array. But you could be the in-house blogger or the in-house medical writer. You could be the in-house ads and marketing person. You could be the in-house educator. You could be the in-house patient onboarding or client onboarding or therapist onboarding. You could be the affiliate manager, such as for companies like MedBridge or physicaltherapy.com or occupationaltherapy.com. There are so many roles outside of sales in all these different digital positions that you can really do. Now, I'm going to say that I couldn't really find specific job posts, and that's because these are often something that you sort of have to pursue on your own. They also may be something that may be on the website of companies but not listed on Indeed. And you also may have to specifically search on Indeed that company name to find that job post, because there's an array of job opportunities out there. As you can see, I mentioned several, and so you could look up those names also, but it may be hard to find a direct job posting. So really play around with what you search on Indeed, as well as if you know companies that you would love to work for. Let's say you use Epic for your documentation system and you would love to work for Epic. Go onto Epic's website and try to see if they have job listings. Try to see if you can get on their job notifications, and that is a way for you to get hired in these certain positions. Also, take reign of your career. If you feel like you would be an expert affiliate manager for a company, mention that to them. Email them, make them a video like what I'm doing now, and propose to them why they need you, what improvements you would make, and why you would be best for that position. So if you want me to make a better video on how to get those type of positions, I'd be happy to. I've actually had the wonderful opportunity to work with a lot of companies in that regards. And so I feel like I have some really unique ideas and concepts to be able to share with you. So just let me know in the video below. So let's quickly review all the different job options for you. We had ergonomics, we had utilization reviewer, skilled inpatient care coordinator, patient/service coordinator. We had sales representative, we had health consultant, we had recruiter, medical billing and coding. We had all the digital roles I just talked about. We had, let's see here, what else? Telehealth and virtual reality, and so much more. I really hope that this video has given you some unique ideas and job ideas for you. If you want any more help, or if you want us to make any more videos on these certain topics, please let me know in the comments below. It would also really mean a lot for me if you would like this video and subscribe. That way I know that you want more content just like this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.